Loves it up there alone. That's why she took both immortality pills instead of saving one for Ho Yi.
Actually, according to my mother, I might be related to Ho Yi.
Ho Yi, the archer! Chou!
Jin!
That's not what happened, Auntie. Ho Yi was off fighting demons.
With his bow and arrow.
When a robber came and tried to
Steal the immortality pills? Yeah. She only put them both in her mouth as a hiding place. Not buying it.
Jeong floated to the sky while her one true love stayed here.
And bit the dust.
Now she lives with a rabbit instead of a husband.
Good choice.
But it wasn't her choice. She didn't try to leave Ho Yi behind. She misses Ho Yi and cries for him every day.
And how do you know that?
They text.
Don't tease Fei Fei.
There are certain things that if you don't draw them, you don't see them.
Yeah.
To see what you thought.
Beautiful.
你只有一个这个飘带，然后它这飘带可以是领子是有点这样的，当然这个领子是这样的啊。
So like this. 我应该是什么样的？
这个是他演唱会之后还是之前
This is after the performance, right?
Yes.
After.
Oh, I love that. This pattern here.
它的这个长下来。
You want this button, right?
When we get up into this area, is that like really?
Like here?
No, this.
Okay.
That there's just. Yeah, I really like that. This is so cool. How thick and massive that is. You know, just is actually like this is actually out here somewhere. I mean, let's just suppose. And these two are connected with this little bridge.
Why?
And we can have our camera kind of locked onto them, and around them is shifting, and the perspective can be changing a little bit like that. I do think that we can break out of the silhouette. I mean, the symmetry of that a little bit. Do something a little more
Dynamique?
Yeah, and that you're going to see brings us a little bit of a connection to
Yes.
little Fei Fei. We don't want him to be a triceratops, but getting performance with Gobi. That the eyes are sitting on the inside.
Alexis when it's open.
Who's gonna
Do these?
yeah. Brittany?
Their characters changed a bit, Glenn, so with how they are in the movie now, I wanted to know.
You know, when those little scales pop out, and we're going to have the numbers that he can That's kind of cool. I mean, I like the glow that you've got coming out.
As it is, and then when it goes up, can you just make it larger?
She sort of accepts her brother as family at that point.
No way! That's my sister! I want my sister!
Or of the sets and, you know, the characters within them. But I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive.
She's excited that she's still alive, and then she jumps.
And all of this is across the song. We're not hearing it much, but I think because you have your headphones plugged into it.
Oh, you're right. And this happens on a little thing at the top.
Right at the front of that pagoda area.
Hello, Thomas. How are you? Good, good.
Hey, Sunshine.
Hello, how are you?
Very good.
So you're gonna render just the hair by itself or something? Or just the whole thing with mom turned off and patch it in? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, right in our eyes. We really want that moon reflection really big and bright.
How was your Memorial Day?
Great. Yeah, it was nice to, we got up early and walked down to the beach.
Please introduce yourself and tell us who you play in Over the Moon.
Hi, I'm Cathy Ang, and I play Fei in Over the Moon.
What drew you to this project?
Everything about the story. For me, I mean, I love Fei. I fell in love with her pretty much immediately when I was reading the script. I love the idea of playing a woman who, I mean, this girl who is incredibly passionate about science. I personally love science and space exploration. And she's motivated by love. You know, everything that she does is motivated by love, and she's crazy determined, probably a little stubborn, very silly, and I just feel like she's a wonderful role model for people. And more than that, it was also that I got to tell a story that reflects my heritage and my tradition and my traditions and who I am. And so everything about the story just feels like a gift to be able to be a part of this cast and crew. It's just been a gift.
What was it like working with Glenn, and can you describe his directorial style?
Glenn is amazing. First of all, when you're in the studio with him, every time that you start a scene, he'll basically describe everything that he's seeing, everything that he's picturing. And when you get to hear him speak, it's just so clear. You know, he knows what this story is, he loves what he's doing. And that just, I don't know, as a performer, that makes me feel so happy and free to just play with him. Yeah, every time that you get into the studio, he'll have you read it a couple of ways, but also he'll read with you, because voice actors don't always get to work with the other actors playing the characters. But Glenn could basically play any one of these characters in the movie, and it's so fun to read with him and just explore. He's brilliant, and you can tell that he's always listening, and he's always thinking and imagining what the story could look like. Yeah, he's amazing.
What does it mean to you to be a part of this Asian story and an all Asian cast?
It's an incredible honor. It's uncommon that as an actor, as a performer, you get to be around people like that, be a part of a story that's sharing your heritage, while also making sure that the people that are in the room are part of your world. They know your culture. And so because you're surrounded by all these people, you know that the story is authentic, and you can just focus. All you have to do is just focus on bringing yourself. You don't have to worry about making sure that it's true, that it's Asian enough, any of that. You know, you just get to be yourself. And the moment that you know that you can trust that, you're free as an actor. So it's a really important experience that I want to take with me forever. I'm going to hold this in my heart forever. And I also just got to learn from these people that I admire so much. So I'm very thankful. And I hope that the fact that, you know, like we're all the fact that the cast was all Asian, I hope that everyone gets to see how that affects the movie, because I think that this movie is incredibly special, and it's done so diligently, and I think that it comes through that this is a Chinese story, and so I hope people can relate to that and see the value in bringing these faces into the room and in every way.
Please introduce yourself and tell us who you play in Over the Moon.
Hi, I'm Ken Jeong, and I play Gobi.
What drew you to this project?
The incredible story and script, and the all Asian American cast, featuring, you know, Margaret Cho, John Cho, Sandra Oh, Phillipa Soo, Cathy Ang, Ruthie Ann Miles, just some of my favorite actors in the world, and to have something that's so special and unique.
What was it working with Glenn, and can you describe his directorial style?
Glenn's absolutely amazing. He is an Oscar winner, and so his work speaks for himself, and B, he has a very unique style in just kind of guiding me along, of kind of allowing me to kind of do my own process, but incorporating that into what the story dictates. So, and he's, for me, at times he would be in the same room as me, and you would really, it had kind of a live action feel of having a director on set giving you notes in a great way, just kind of guiding me through, just kind of, he could feel the texture of my performance rather than kind of being in isolation at that time, of course, pre-pandemic. But having that, you know, having that, how do I say that essence there while I'm in the booth was really great and really helpful, especially for something, a performance and and a story as with so many layers and textures.
What does it mean to you to be a part of this Asian story and an all Asian cast?
It means the world to me to be a part of an all Asian story, an all Asian cast, and as a father of two daughters, just to have that kind of representation on screen is so important. And my daughters, they, who knows, they could have a career in entertainment, and to see this kind of representation, people who look like us on the screen, not only in live action but in animation, I can't emphasize how important that is for future generations.
What do you think audiences worldwide will love about this film?
I think first and foremost, they will love the story and the storytelling, and the animation in particular. The imagery is so vivid, and then also the music, the songs, that the soundtrack that goes with this. There are so many elements of a classic that's in this movie, and it truly is one of my favorite things I've ever been a part of.
And what was your favorite part of working on the film? Any fun facts that you can tell us?
For me, there was one session where I just got unexpectedly emotional during just kind of a more dramatic scene, and it was, it was my first time in animation, just getting that emotional, and it just showed how powerful the story is, and how important this film is. But to experience a moment like that in animation during a session is something I've never experienced before, and it was memorable and amazing.
Please introduce yourself and tell us who you play in Over the Moon.
Hi, my name is Sandra Oh, and I play Mrs. Jeong.
What drew you to this project?
There are many things that drew me to this project, but primarily it's my relationship with Audrey Wells, the writer, and to be a part of this story.
What was it like working with Glenn? Can you describe his directorial style?
Oh, Glenn's style is like really easygoing, right? But he also has so much experience that you're always feeling safe. And he's very, very, very generous. He's very, very generous. And he's also very aware of exactly what tone or where you are in the storytelling and how you need to adapt your voice or your interpretation of the character in a line to, because he's clearly making it in his head. You know what I mean? He's clearly figuring out it in his head as you are giving the dialogue. So he's adapting, he's directing you based on what's in his head.
What does it mean to you to be a part of this Asian story and an all Asian cast?
I'm thrilled. It's great. It's great. And it's also like, one thing I am a little weary of is that this is it's not the first. It's not the first for me, and it's not the first for Asian actors, filmmakers. You know what I mean? So in the world of the celebration that it's continuing a more diverse storytelling, I'm very happy to be a part of it.
What do you think audiences worldwide will love about this film?
That it brings some joy. It brings some joy. It's got great music. It has beautiful animation. It's a lovely story. And, it's a very difficult time for everyone. And to be able to sit down, on your own or with your family, or that you can share it, through Zoom with your family, like some family members can watch it here and some family members can watch it there. And just to have a little bit of joy, I think, is hopefully what people will get from this film.
What was your favorite part of working on the film, and any fun facts?
Favorite part of working on the film is actually being in the booth with John Cho. I haven't seen him in so long. I mean, I've known John for a long time. I can't even figure out where we met. But John and I have known of each other and, you know, supported each other for many, many years. And this is also the difference. It's really nice now for many of us who've been in the business for a while to now actually be able to act with each other, because it's always been just one of us anywhere. So to be able to have a grouping of us is terrific. It's great. I mean, I hope I continue acting with John, you know, and Ruthie and Phillipa and Cathy, you know, now that we've, you know, gotten to know each other a little bit, you know.
Is the Mid-Autumn holiday significant to you and your Korean family? And can you say whether you've had Chinese mooncakes and whether you enjoy them?
Oh my God, Chinese mooncakes, so good, so good. But it's almost like it's like, don't think that you're just gonna munch them all down. Do you know what I mean? You can't just go. I mean, maybe you could, because it's like no, you can't. It's like, but they're delicious. I love mooncakes. And so in Korean tradition, there's this autumn festivals called Chuseok. It wasn't necessarily a big ritual in my family, because, you know, being Canadian, this autumn time is divided into Canadian Thanksgiving and then Halloween. And we really adopted a lot of the North American traditions. But Chuseok it's like Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? It's a part of autumn, you know, harvest.
Please introduce yourself and tell us who you play in Over the Moon.
Hi, I'm Margaret Cho, and I play the auntie, and I play Gretch.
What drew you to this project?
I just really loved the script, and I really loved the drawings, and I really loved the songs, and I love that we get to work together. We so rarely get to work together, and all of us, I think, are just really dying for a project where we can, you know, see Asian and Asian American faces and hear our stories and be together. So this is really amazing.
What was it working with Glen, and can you describe his directorial style?
Glen was such an amazing director because he was just so incredibly instrumental in getting a perfect performance out of us. You know, he's just such a great, I think, instigator of emotion. So he can really prompt you to act right there. You know, it's so hard to get something from an actor when you're not with another actor. So it's really essential to work with a director in a capacity when you're a voice actor who can really get that from you. And so, you know, it's really extraordinary when you can have a director that can do that. And he was really amazing.
What does it mean to you to be a part of this Asian story and an all Asian cast?
It's so important to have representation out there for Asians and Asian Americans. It's so important to have our stories told and to have multiculturalism out there in the world, in entertainment. It's really essential to a world that, you know, starts to recognize that we can live without racism. And this is really what I hope for us.
What do you think audiences worldwide will love about this film?
I think the animation is really stunning. It's really beautiful. The songs are really beautiful. I think the performances are so great. It's so funny. And Ken as Gobi it's really unmissable. It's such a funny, fun character. I really think that there's going to be a lot of like Gobi Halloween costumes. There has to be a lot of Gobi Halloween costumes. It's so cute. It's so cute. So I'm going to be Gobi for Halloween. I decided.
And what was your favorite part of working on the film? Any fun facts that you can tell us?
My favorite part of working on the film was probably the initial seeing of the sketches and hearing the songs when I was in Shanghai a couple of years ago, when I first met with everybody from Pearl Animation. And saw the very beginnings of the project, and also getting mooncakes in the mail when the film was completed. I really enjoyed those mooncakes. They were good.
Tell us about your Disney years and how that led you to Over the Moon.
Well, for me, I've animated a lot of different characters, and the way I connect with them is really through this spark inside of them that believes the impossible is possible. Like for Ariel, she's a mermaid, but somehow she's going to walk on land and fall in love with a guy with legs. I mean, this is crazy, but that's so appealing to me. When I read Audrey Wells' beautiful script, and Fei Fei is the vehicle for all of the viewers to go on this journey, I saw that same spark of believing the impossible is possible. 12 years old, she's going to build a rocket to the moon. Walt Disney always talked about the plausible impossible, that there's got to be something that makes you believe it could happen. Fei Fei is so smart. She knows physics and science and math, and she's so ingenious in how she pulls all these elements together to build this rocket using fireworks. And then there's this other side of her that her mom gave her, which is this belief in things that people can't see. The goddess on the dark side of the moon. This was so much fun to be able to bring that kind of a character to life. These are the characters I loved animating in the past. And in this case, this was going to be my first film that I was directing. It had to be with that kind of a character.
What do you think audiences worldwide will love about this film?
I think that there's a number of things. Certainly the music. The music, we did not write it first as a musical. Audrey didn't, but she loves musicals. Peilin Chou loves musicals. When I was reading the script, I was like, it feels like Howard Ashman is speaking in my ear, and here's a song, there's a song. These are moments that you can advance the story, put like rockets on the story point and move it forward emotionally. These are not needle drop songs. They need to be written with lyrics that are profound. And Audrey seemed to have already written that into the script in some sense. And so that was an incredibly important thing that I think that the audience is going to believe in a wonderful way. It'll stick in their minds. But I think it's the lesson that resonates so deeply, so true, and yet people kind of avoid going there, which is about the loss of people we love, dealing with the pain. I mean, at one point, Fei Fei says, I just want things to go back the way they were. And you know, who wouldn't say that today in this world of this pandemic where everything is turned upside down? But we don't go backwards. We only go forward in life. And it leads in our movie to the Chamber of Exquisite Sadness, which is kind of a poetic way. We're not talking about these things in an intellectual way. It's a symbolic, emotional journey we're taking you on. And Fei Fei has to confront her biggest sorrow of losing her mom, but it's a chamber of exquisite sadness because at the other end, you discover joy and love. And that's the message that I want people to have.
What was your favorite part of working on the film? Any fun facts?
I think probably my favorite part was going to China and discovering what it was like to be Chinese, to sit in a family's home at the round table with the grandparents and the aunts and uncles and kids. And that, I hung on to that all the way through because I knew this was going to be the bookend for us. It was the love of food it was the light, the textures, the sounds, the smells. Those are the things that I wanted to communicate because I lived it, I experienced it. There's something so genuine and real about that Celine Desrumeaux, my production designer, really worked so hard in creating the sense that people were really enjoying that food and living in that world. That's what I wanted to communicate is the true life of China back to the world.
FuturePreviews.com. Whoa! Go behind the scenes of movies. Subscribe to Future Flicks YouTube channel.